So my strategy was active learning, and instead of having a class and showing you that way, since I'm not a teacher yet, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about the strategy itself and some ideas or some examples that you can incorporate into your classroom when you get there. It's actually a very popular topic and strategy. A lot of teachers use it in their daily lessons or examples or anything that comes along with their classroom to get their students up and moving. It's something that you try to have your students active and engaged instead of that passive and reading a book behind the teacher's back or reading a comic book underneath their notes or something along those lines. So this makes sure that the students are continuing to be active and engaged and adding their ideas into the classroom or adding their 2 cents into the conversation. So ways that you can do this is an active discussion. So a lot of times you can have one student versus one student, or you can have one side of the class versus another side of the class, or you can have it be group versus group. You can have them go around to different stations and have station A be about one topic, station B be about a different topic, and have those students then get into a discussion about what they believe would be the correct choice or their idea of what would be the right answer. And if there was a student that disagreed with them, then have them talk about why and what they were thinking. You can also have students get up and a lot of times you'll see teachers implement kind of more of a stretching or a yoga into a classroom. That's actually to get students up and moving. One example of this is the bone dance. So everybody's heard about the bone dance where I'm not a very good singer, so I'm not going to do it for you, but where you can talk about going from your head to your toes, your shoulders, all of that. That's getting students up and moving. That's getting students focused on what they're learning compared to just looking at a book and seeing what it is there. So when students are actually able to physically touch their shoulders, touch their head, touch their toes, then that can prove to be a lot more of a better teaching style than just having students stand and just look at a teacher pointing at it or looking at a book. So that's an example of active learning. Another active learning situation, and it's a game that I grew up with, or I know I grew up with, was playing Four Corners. That's actually a very interactive game because if you can have, for example, if you're in math class, you can have two angles that students are trying to find if they're acute or obtuse or if they're perfect 90-degree angle or just a variety of options. And then they can go to whichever corner they believe their angle represents. So that way they're physically getting up and moving and they're actually using their own ideas and their own previous knowledge to learn and to figure out what they would believe would be the correct answer. When students then go from that, they can get to whatever corner and where they have to find a partner that they believe that they have the same triangle or the same angle or whatever you were using. That allows then conversation between two people, which then brings up the social aspect as well as the interpersonal and everything along those lines. So using those techniques can make sure that you get active learning in your classroom as well as making sure that the students are enjoying and engaging. Making sure that students stay focused and engaged is the best way a teacher can make sure that they have all of their students learning at once, and making sure that they're having fun with it is something to make sure that the students are keeping engaged as well. So thank you so much. Hopefully you enjoyed my PowerPoint.